We're live.
Hey.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the party. Here, we play role-playing games together in an amazing atmosphere of joy and friendship. And that is what we are doing today. As
I've
Mises.
never heard you deliver it as welcome to the party.
No, I've never delivered it like this before, but that is how I am talking today. I don't know why. It is what I feel like talking like. So you're just going to have to deal with it. It's a fever dream. We're playing Mouseguard. We are guarding the Mises and bees.
Bees.
Let's go around
Welcome
and say
to the party, starring Guy Smiley.
Guy Smiley. A couple of quick announcements before we get going. First is, of course, thank you so much to our sponsors, Tabletop Loot, where you can get 15% off your next dice order by using the code WTTPDICE. So Many Games, where you can buy amazing Welcome to the Party merch. You get 10% off by using the code WELCOME. You'll see more about that later. And Roll20, the amazing virtual tabletop thingy we use for all of our role-playing games. You should click on the link below to get your own free account. And with that, check out our Patreon. It's an amazing way to support the channel without giving 50% of your money to Twitch, although we certainly don't mind if you want to give your money to Twitch if this is your preferred way to help out. So either way is great by us. Any other announcements?
I have a possible plug, but I think that's better saved for later.
Okay, yeah. Plug away.
Okay.
Later. Okay, so let's go around and say hi to everyone. Starting with Neuro.
Hi, everyone. How are you doing?
Great.
Good.
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay, so obviously, I'm a little bit nervous in terms of what happened last week, since
Yes, please tell me about the drama of your character in your intro, because I desperately want to know how bad things have gone for you.
I think I'm in jail right now for outright murdering someone in broad daylight in the middle of a street.
It's not murder. That was clearly self-defense.
It was, actually. I'll help you know. So we'll see how this turns out. But I think, do you want me to kind of recap from last time? I could do that.
I think let's just introduce our characters.
That's fine.
Also, the person behind the mouse, the person who is the mouse. I'm not sure how we embody our characters right now. I know that my soul has always been of the rodent variety, but I'll let you define yourself.
I've always been more of a badger.
I literally have a tattoo of a rat on one arm and a weasel on the other.
Oh, ooh, Gwendolyn's gonna have some words for you. But what's Stroud's belief, by the way? Because I know we had some beliefs that got embraced and some that got challenged.
It used to be that I was basically, my belief was that I would be a rational thinker, but now I think it's pretty much changed right now, and I guess it's to do what's right regardless of consequences. To hell with consequences. We'll go with that.
I mean, that's what happened last time, and you got a persona point for it. I'm very proud.
Mm-hmm.
Leaves me with a lot of opportunities to challenge that. Thane,
Yep.
Do you want to go next? Or Throck?
Yes.
Am I in control now? Is the channel mine?
Absolutely, you're in control. I want you to be in control. I would love it if you did all the announcements and stuff, because it's your game. But I will absolutely go. Hi, I'm Throck, also known in this game as Thane. I am playing the patrol leader. Is that what it's called? Guard captain?
Patrol leader, not
Patrol
guard
leader.
captain.
Yeah.
That is a promotion you may want to work towards.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe later.
You're the HMFIC, the head mouse fucker in charge?
Head mouse fucker in charge, indeed.
Does that translate? I don't know if that does.
And my belief for my mouse is I will ensure the safety of my patrol. And so far, mostly so good. Although I think we just all got arrested, so that's a bit more problematic. We'll see in a second.
It's
You
a
can
work in
find me
progress.
on the tweeters at Throckplays. Who's next? Four. Who's next?
Do we want Finn? Do we
Four.
want our
It's your rodeo.
grizzled mouse?
Yes.
Do we?
Oh wait, you meant I should go next? Oh,
No.
What?
I said you should say who goes next because it's your game.
I said Finn. Finn.
Hi, I'm Finn. I'm being underlit right now for creepy dramatic effect. But otherwise, I'm actually pretty cool and chill and nice. And hey, how's it going? So my name is Zed or ZX on Twitter. I'm here to be Finn. I am somewhat older, like just on the cusp of being a gray fur. Like parts of my fur are turning colors. And you can even see in my little, there's a neat little drawing on the overlay that Connie did for me. That is amazing. Yeah. So I'm gruff. I'm a sergeant. Essentially, my whole job is to make sure other people do what the patrol leader says.
Proof.
Do we want the character who does not do what the patrol leader says to go next?
Hello, I'm Connie. Oh yeah, and I'm playing Thistle Bristle. Thistle Bristle. He's a young punk. He knows the world, and he knows it's a mess. These Mouseguard, they don't know what they're doing. They think they're protecting everybody, but everyone is hiding something. Distrust everything. You want something done right, you gotta do it yourself.
This is a good time to double down on that.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And for the individual who is trying to not encourage that, Mr. Throck.
What? We already did me.
Oh wait, we did?
Yeah.
We could all go around.
Oh my god,
again.
that's right.
Yeah,
Well,
We should all
Twice.
intro a second time. Who are you, Throck?
Hi, my name's Throck. You can find me on Twitter at ThrockPlays. I'm playing Thane, and my belief is that I want to keep my peeps safe. Yo.
Well, you know what my belief is? That somebody should deliver the prologue so they can recover from a condition or recover a point of taxed nature. Because Mouseguard takes place in a fantastical world of little mice who are able to band together and construct a fantastic medieval society. The only problem is that they're still mice. They're still this big. And for all you know, your backyard is the perfect setting for snakes, thunderstorms, and all sorts of other blights and pandemics to drop upon this floundering mass of adorable creatures. Thankfully, they have the Mouseguard, a faction of bold and brave warriors and scientists and cartographers, all sorts of mice that dedicate themselves for the protection of the territories. Which one of you would like to talk about the latest thing you have been trying to protect the territories for? Because it was a big... It was big.
I usually shy away from this, but I'm pretty messed up right now, so I'd like to take it if you guys don't mind.
Sounds good.
So last time around, we were trying to gather information, figure out exactly where we were going to go and how we were going to do it. We had an idea of what we wanted, which was to try to figure out we need proof of what Venn is doing with the bees. We had some pretty good evidence going, but wanted to try to lock everything up so as to make our case airtight. Meanwhile, our cover identities is tradespeople from it's Iron Root?
Copperwood.
Copperwood.
Yes.
Okay, but for something I pulled out of my
Yeah, you're fine.
head, that's
A
not
root
too
is
bad.
a part of a tree. You were that close.
And copper and iron, then it was metal plus tree. Anyway, so we got a little deep, maybe too deep undercover, and a little too involved with some of our tradesoning.
So deep.
Oh man. And we're having a bit of a quibble or a quandary over whether or not we should head further inland to try to go to the main city with our cover, or head back to our ship and go back and tell Gwendolyn and the other guards mice at Lockhaven exactly what all was going on. on our way, we were going to have a chat with one of Stroud's friends, who is a scientist working for the Queen on her secret bee project, although he doesn't necessarily know exactly what it is. And while we were sitting down for tea and corn cakes, we were poisoned. The only one of us who was strong enough to make it through somehow was our scientist, Stroud.
Yeah, you show off your constitution. I was so close. Wasn't that one of the tightest rolls as well?
We should name him Stroud Outless. Anyway, so we're all curled up and exploding out of various orifices while Stroud took his bow, yes, and his general might and chased after the assistant to the scientist, who we found out was the person who had poisoned us, who had then subsequently run away. Turns out that assistant was, working for someone who doesn't want this information to get out. And when Stroud cornered him in a crowded undercity street, the other mouse turned and was headed towards Stroud. So Stroud defended himself and killed him. Killed him good. Killed him dead.
But not before finding out who.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, although... I tragically do not remember that specific detail. I was so overwhelmed by what else was going on, because Stroud got Stroud did this in a very public and open area, and everyone went, what? Yeah. Who was it who the mouse was working for? Oh, it was one of the princesses.
It was one of...
I can learn to understand you much better if I can get familiar with the way...
Who is sort of like the religious leader in Venn. And it turned out to be Sidwell, the nocturne matron, who is an opossum.
Yes. And yeah, so that leaves us with Stroud being likely locked up and taken away, and the rest of us still in grave condition over at the scientist's place. And also now we don't know what happened to Stroud.
We're about to get to that.
Yeah.
We're about to get to that. Because here's where we need to bring our spirits down. You're all poisoned, and it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to do much. And also, we didn't have a player's turn last time, because usually Mouseguard, there's this like format of, hey, it's the GM's turn. The game master will now do things that will put you at risk, and you'll be able to complete the mission. And then after I beat you up, you get to have a player's turn to recover and pursue your own things. Well, the bees decided that that's not going to happen. So we're going to have a little bit of that this time, and we're going to sort of have a back and forth on what happens afterwards. Because here's the thing. I really think we could jump forward about maybe a week or so in game, because the majority of you are you got hit with sickness, and it's pretty rough. Realistically, it probably would take at least a week to recover.
Wow.
Stroud, you would be aware of a lot of things that would be happening next. Number one, you are detained immediately, but you are not officially arrested, because you wear the tabard of the Kestrel daughter, Marava. So here's what will happen to you pretty much immediately. You will be taken to Miravon's Roost, the tower that she handles most of her business, and basically calmly asks you what happened. And I imagine this is the time when you inform her that the scientist she hired from Spruce Tuck to work on the hive is desperately trying to save the lives of your friends.
Am I supposed to? Sorry.
Yeah, you.
Okay. So I guess I'm going to go up to Maravan and just basically lay out very rationally. I'm going to be, my lady. It has come to my attention.
Hello.
Okay, I'm going to go right now.
Can you imagine if I went so far deep into that particular rabbit hole? No, she's very noble and regal acting, and allows you to explain.
So, in an effort to help out my friends, as you are well aware, and you will see within, if you were to take a deeper dive in terms of what's been going on, Wolfsbane was involved in all of this catastrophe in its core. Yep. And so what I had done, I will lay it point blank, was I defended myself against an individual who attacked my friends and left them, and I don't know what state they were in right now, but from what I recollect, they were not in a good state when I left. So I am pleading to you that I'm able to go back and see how my friends are doing and ensure that they have proper treatment, and obviously to dig deeper as to what had happened.
She will nod her head once and essentially order that you be escorted to your friends, and if they are indeed ill, they shall be brought to a special medical room that will help you attend to them, because if they have been poisoned by Wolfsbane, this place is covered in it, so they have means to help with that. So yes.
I'm sorry, did you say they have memes to help with that?
I mean, we all need good cheer once in a while, Throck.
It's true.
And what's hang in there. The rest of you are in agony. And Goss, Stroud's friend, is trying his best to soothe you and keep you from, perishing immediately. Most of you are forced to vomit.
I'm actually feeling a bit better. I'm okay. I'm all right.
That's coming later. You don't get it instant. You don't get an instant cure. Several
I like
armed...
to think I burned it out with anger.
No.
I mean, hey. Oh man, I'm reading this book series that has something like that, and I'm like, I want to talk. That's all I want to talk about now.
Anger magic.
What?
Anger magic?
Not exactly. Not exactly anger magic. So I'm trying. At the same time, I'm trying to give you guys opportunity to bounce in, but really, honestly, I'm trying to get us to the player's turn. You are surrounded by armed individuals and Stroud, and they lift you up, and you are brought into the depths of the Marnet, and essentially cordoned off into a bedded room with your friends.
I don't know what this
Stroud,
is.
I told you to get them, not get them.
Oh.
Can't hear you. Sorry, you're sick.
That is true. What?
Stroud, a mouse approaches you.
Mhm.
It is a rather withered mouse, wearing what looks like a very elaborate coat with several pockets, with various, like, you can smell from the stench of their coat, like there's a whole batch of anything that you need, really.
Mhm.
And she leans over them and sort of like opens their mouth and is like, "Yes, good. They puked. Who are you?"
I just one of their friends or their colleagues. Can you do it? Can you do something for them?
Yes. At the very least, we can stabilize them. Their bodies will be the ultimate deciding factor. This one's young. Does she bite? She sort of like tries to see if you're able to. Yeah, Thistle, by the way.
Thistle does bite. Thistle bites a lot. Thistle is not happy about being poked
You
at
gnaw.
or barfing.
You gnaw on the gloved hand, and the old this old doctor is like, "Ooh, that's good. That's good." Well, I'm Maribel. I'll be seeing that all of them do not perish in the night. Did you have any of the what I am at the wolf's bane muffin?
No, it was
Monkshood.
Monkshood or was it Wolfsbane?
Yeah, it was Monkshood.
Yeah, that's that's the formal name for it. Yeah, monkshood is the it's like you know how like there's like baby's breath flowers, but you know there's like a more official name than baby's breath. It's sort of like that, I think. But yeah, she says, "Okay, I'll start them on a routine. Need to clean out that organic chamber that holds such poisons because it doesn't know any better. The stomach." She like gets this like tube and like she hooks up like a bottle and all sorts of odd techniques that you have not experienced in your tenure at Spruce Tuck.
Well, no, okay. I'm calling on both my angry and my tough. I am rolling off the table and like
All right.
backing up.
Here's how it happens in terms of the world for you, Finn.
Because I am not letting her come near me if I don't have to.
Okay. She's going to notice that you're a little bit grumpier. She's like, "I don't like the ones that complain to you. I like the ones that bite or don't move at all. You can take care of him," she says to Stroud.
No one's going to stabilize me.
So for you, Connie and Throck, your characters will be, if you wish, the healer will try to cure your sickness.
Yes, please.
Because the kestrel daughter of Krodic is going to grant you this, oddly enough. So I'm going to roll for her.
Okay. Please don't kill us.
Do you want to use one of the player's turn checks, Neuro, to... Oh, wait, no. You narrated the prelude. That's right.
Narrated the nail.
So you're
That's
no
what I'm
longer
saying.
sick.
Yeah, I like to feel that I got over it by being so angry. Because I still have the condition. Like, I haven't gotten rid of that one yet. So, just like, get out of me.
Foul poison!
Yeah.
Okay. Luckily, she has a fate point because Maribel is an important character. Yay!
Woo!
Thistle, you are going to be cured.
Yeah, no longer sick. There was definitely a montage where like every other scene was her pouring something into Thistle and then Thistle throwing up. So in, out, and in and out. Montage!
But playing like the 80s like Rocky movie montage music
right?
as it's happening.
And like every time Thistle gets another look on their face that's just more determined until finally they like have like a box of cereal and they're like, you can be healthy too.
Oddly enough, I really do think that mice have figured out where to get a bran-based cereal. The only question is, where do they get milk?
It's a big piece of, like, that's not small to them.
Yeah.
Like a piece of oatmeal is like a piece of bread.
Yeah. It's so like
you could do the
spoons.
You could do like the plant-based or pea, like was it the pea-based milk or whatever?
Yeah,
I don't know.
they make oat milk now.
Or almond milk.
That's what okay, this is an actual question that David Peterson has dodged many times because he does not they bake stuff. You would think they have some sort of like milk, and like they were like, do they milk bats? What do they milk?
What's small like that? I mean, they could milk themselves. I'm just.
I mean, technically, placenta is the first thing a mouse will eat. Like after that sort of thing.
I don't know why. I'm just imagining it's just like morning time. I'm just going at it.
It's usually not what I'm going at in the morning. I'm thinking maybe aphids.
No, it's gotta be a mammal.
Have a whole little
like a nut, like some sort of nut.
Yeah, like I said, an almond. It could be like an almond.
Can we not talk about milking nuts today? Can we just move forward from this?
She silences you, all of you, as she says, "You're going to feel better." And Maribel, over a week, is going to ensure that all of you recover hastily and painfully. Yes, Throck.
Out of curiosity, you got 5 successes on my health check. I am hungry, tired, and sick, and thirsty.
No longer sick. You're no longer sick.
Okay.
That was something that Marivon gave you for free. This is her personal medic.
I'm just saying, your personal medic got 5 successes. Am I still hungry and thirsty?
Well, clearly you had a delicious Wolf's Bane muffin, so maybe you're not hungry. Is anybody else hungry and thirsty, by the way?
I don't think I'm either, but I am angry. So
I'm hungry, thirsty, and tired.
Okay, angry. Okay, because we are going at this for a week, I'm going to allow you guys, if you do not try to escape, if you allow yourself to be
I'm gonna sit here and be. I've had such a bad time. I'm just gonna sit
in
here
the Kestrel Tower, then I will allow you to remove that as well.
Okay.
If you want to get rid of angry, you can go ahead and spend a player's check on that right now. It's a will test.
Oh, you could milk rabbits. That's smart. Yeah.
Rabbits are huge compared to mice.
Yeah, cows are huge compared to us.
Yeah, right?
Not like 4 or 5
Have you ever been sat on by a cow?
No.
I've had a horse run me over. The deer? They milk deer, maybe?
No, those are bigger than rabbits.
Like
this is too prominent.
Maybe.
That would require scaffolding.
There'd be like a village around one deer that has to sit there. Like,
is this our player turn? We're just gonna talk about
huge sluices involved.
I'm the milking deer.
Open the sluice gates, it's milking time.
I'm just thinking it's so Mad Max in terms of like the mothers. Oh my god, yeah.
There's like a silo full of curdling milk that they churn into butter.
Don't drink too much.
Open the reservoir gates.
Okay, I'm gonna refill my coffee because it is gone.
From a rabbit or a deer?
What would they taste? No. All your will, get rid of your angry.
So sorry to chat.
No, we're not. We're not sorry. You came in for this.
This is what you're here for. Obviously.
This is the sort of quality entertainment you can expect every day on Welcome to the Party. Indeed.
Where we share our knowledge of mammalian physiology.
Yes. I would also like to use a player's turn roll to get rid of my tired.
Sure. That's a obstacle 3, I believe.
Is that also a will test?
No, it is a health.
Oh, come
Test.
on! Okay, well, I'm going to fail it. That'll be great.
How many successes for anger?
Angry. Oh, it's obstacle 2 will.
Well, that fucks me over.
Nope, that didn't work. Hang on.
If you fail.
Oh my god, I got it! I got it!
Ooh.
Good job, friend.
I only have 3 dice.
No, stop it. Stop with the typing problems.
Thistle's tired too, so they should probably try and use their health to get out of that. Nobody
That's
likes
not how
being
you roll.
tired.
There you go.
Yeah, I figured
oh
it
my
out.
God.
One success. I remain angry.
What
We're
a
both.
mess.
That's not surprising. Luckily, Thistle's very young, so they have a good chance of passing. Yay! They are so awake now. They slept for an entire week.
Yes, and that's 4 players' turn checks. As I understand it, there are 2 extra ones. And right before, basically, this will... Yeah, I want you guys to sort of come to terms with what you think you want to do next before Maravan calls upon you for perhaps a more detailed plan. Because essentially, somebody tried to kill people that are under her favor. So she has to respond in some fashion.
Okay.
So, my thought here is I actually am well rested now, which is pretty great. I'm pretty happy about that. I'm well rested.
I think this is the best you've been since the start of the campaign.
This is the best. I have had at least one condition on me for 5 episodes. That is correct. Yeah, for 5 games, I have had at least one. I have not been able to be well, but I'm back in fighting fit fashion after being poisoned to near death. Pretty great. So my thought is, we're gonna owe her for this. Which is we're gonna have to make good that debt, and then we need to get out of here. We need to get out of here and report what we found. If we can find these rebels on the way out, I think that's okay. But we need to get back to Gwendolyn, and we need to talk about it.
What season are we in? I forget. We're in spring?
Spring! Where the
Okay.
bees are buzzing.
I think it's going to get cold.
What?
I think it's going to get cold and slow the bees down.
Oh, yes. I see
Yeah.
what you're doing. Roll versus spring.
Magic.
This is interesting. This will actually have an impact, surprisingly enough.
So do good.
I will.
Yes.
I'll attempt.
Oh,
So,
how can we help?
Well, I'm using Weather Watcher, and I'm calling on my Weather Sense and Cold Snap Wise.
Spring has 6, by the way. 6 dice for this.
So, any additional assistance you guys can give me? Right now, I and Spring are tied on Dice Pool, but I could use a lot of help.
Thistle is a
Go on.
harvester. They've done lots of work out in the fields, helping their family gather up all of the wonderful things that they grow. They know what it's like on one of those nights where the frost is going to come nipping in.
No.
I, however, am a
No.
weather watcher, so I will be your
Wait,
assistant to the weather watcher. What?
No. The Weather Watcher can only... I'm pretty sure that Weather Watcher can only be...
I thought
Have
you
I
could help.
allowed you to help with Harvester before? I feel like I have, because you did that exact same maneuver. Its suggested help is scientist.
I can't be his assistant weather watcher. I can't be like, yes, yeah, I believe you're reading those clouds in such
You
a
have
way.
you have Weather Watcher, right?
I do, yeah.
Okay, then yeah, you can help.
Okay.
Stroud, are you helping with your science?
I guess. Yeah, I will.
All right. Oh,
Uh-oh. Somebody
Yeah,
cut
a
off
little
their
bounce.
camera for a second.
That was pretty bad.
that's okay.
I'm apparently Finn right now.
Oh, yeah. People
Yeah.
move.
You had
One of my
you all
favorite
played musical chairs. Please
instances.
hold.
in the meantime, I'll roll for Spring. Okay, Spring got 3 successes.
So you got to get more than that. Oh,
Yeah! Woo! Okay.
we're back on our game.
It'll be unseasonably cold. Very well.
So hopefully the bees will slow down.
That will be a factor in future events. Yes. Well done. So we have one more big check that you can make, I think.
Can we use our player turn to investigate who the heck may have done some of this? Is that a thing we
Yes.
can do? Okay.
Yeah.
Would Pathfinder be the right skill for that? Or
No.
what? Okay, I'm not looking at my character sheet. I'm fixing cameras. Scout.
They're dead. The person who could possibly show you is dead.
Yeah, but I can look at clues on them and be like,
So do you want to like go to the Nocturne Matron's territory and like spy a bit?
is that who we think did it?
That's
I
who he
missed
said
that
did
part.
it.
That's what he
Okay,
said. Yeah.
then yes, that is what I would like to do.
That's what he said to save his life.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to see if I can use my administrative to actually look to see if there's any paper trail or if there's any sort of. My assumption is that this individual assistant probably got paid off. There has to be some sort of trail, and I'm hoping that the administrative skill could probably yield some sort of clue as to who he might have interacted with or whatever it might be. Could I use that for that?
Yes. That sounds perfect.
Anyone want to help me with that?
LV, thank you.
Is that the role? Like, is that going to be like?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay, because I can do that as well.
I can assist you with. You said you're questioning people.
More like investigating records and accounting books and things like that. I guess.
I will help with Deceiver by assisting you to locate and move past lies or other errors, like intentional.
I think that's a valid way to tackle this. Yes.
I would like to assist with the all-around skill laborer. I will run around the records house. I will follow all of the weird delineations that they use to organize their records and bring you all of them.
Oh, my favorite skill.
Throck, do you have anything or do?
No. No. I mean, I could chuck in a die of Persuader to try and maybe talk through some of the red tape. That is the only thing I could think of, but it feels a little thin.
Trying to think. If you could tell me, like,
I can't.
no.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay.
I'm not really. This is way outside. I'm an outside mouse, and this is like inside mouse things.
Okay.
You've been so torn down time and time again.
Yeah.
For Throck.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oof. Ow.
Well, how about that? It was gonna be obstacle 4.
Well.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. I'm gonna invoke a twist. Paper trail mainly leads to Goss because that's who this individual traveled around with. You track Goss's sort of papers on like his journey, really. He was hired from Spruce Tuck by the Queendom to perform sciencey stuff in the apiary of Maravon's tower. And oddly enough, he did not board a boat from Shorestone or Maple Harbor. He boarded from Sandmason. And the two apprentices, looks like only one of them came from Sprucetuck. The other came from Sandmason. And the first one's name is Wyatt. That's the one from Sprucetuck. And the second one's name is Burdock. That's from Sandmason.
Which one was the one that poisoned us?
The second one, Burdock.
Okay.
I have no idea what this means.
I don't know either.
Well, Sandmason was just recently like
Kind of. It was kind of annexed.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But the general populace didn't really know, right? In terms of like being annexed or like the
Some of them might have been for it. They might have approved of it, but others might have been a little deeper in this this thing that is happening in their town that they want to own themselves, but unfortunately haven't been able to until Venn stepped in.
Okay. I guess, with this revelation, I would probably go back to the group as a whole and ask them, should we go and talk to Gus right now about this finding? It's not much to start with, but it's a trail.
And it's all we've got, right?
Are we allowed to freely move?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a good question.
No.
We still need to talk to Marivon too, right?
Yes. And she will summon you shortly after this, I imagine, to speak with her.
On the GM turn, perhaps?
On the GM's turn, perhaps, yes, because that was the last player's check, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here is what she will do. You enter Marivon's, the center of her tower, the pinnacle of her political height. And she leans down to you and says, Sidwell is trying to interfere in the current power structure of Venn, clearly, if this poisoner was from her circle. Yet I'm curious on why you were there in that space. So, let us try to air out any secrets, because that will greatly decide where I take you next. But I can assure you, it will be against this foul opossum. And you can take that as you will. Why were you poisoned, essentially? Why were you there?
Who is? I guess am I speaking on behalf of the group, or
Looks like it.
No, why would you?
Everyone is there, but she is.
I mean, I figure since Throck is,
You're about to speak. I elbow you and I elbow Throck.
Yeah, my name's Thane, first of all.
Thane,
Sorry.
And yeah, I'm just trying to think about why are we here?
You know your cover. You know your cover.
Yeah.
She is specifically asking, why were you in Goss's place?
Yeah. I don't have a good lie for this yet. Well, it's always good to make contacts amongst the local community. And as we were working through meeting people, we met Goss, and Goss was very kind to invite us into their home, and apparently one of Goss's roommates decided it would be a good time to poison us or accidentally bake monk's hood into our muffins.
Appropriate music cue.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not really sure how it all happened. It's all very confusing. I got really sick for a week, and we were just going to visit someone who had been kind to us, and then we nearly died.
I will step in and, kind of just mention, that Gauss and I have gone a ways back. He is a fellow colleague of mine,
Oh, I
a
was
very
trying
good
to-
friend of mine. And since our days at Spruce Tuck, during one of our visits to one of your apiaries location, I just happened to bump into him, and he had kindly invited me and my fellow colleagues to some tea. And, we honestly, we really don't know why this, the following incidences have occurred in terms of that. But
As far as we knew, we were there to share some hot goss.
I was trying
But
not
the
to blow your
goss was
cover.
not shared. You instead ate wolf's bane. She sort of files away this knowledge, sort of acknowledges Stroud's comments, and says, "Very well. And now we come to what to do with you now. What is your place in Venn after such a harrowing, terrible act that was
Well, I want to
inflicted
figure out who
on
tried to
you?"
kill my friend Stroud, and why these other two people tried to poison us. Oh wait, he's dead. Never mind. Yeah, whole thing's kind of a blur. I want to figure out why this guy tried to kill us.
And in fact, that is my assumption, is that Goss was not the real target. It was you.
Why?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was an attack against you, my lady.
Because we bear your mark?
It could have been a slight, yes.
Is there a lot of people who slight each other by murdering them?
And
that a
then
thing that
it's,
happens?
It's not something that usually does happen, no.
Okay.
Hence why, if you are willing, I would like to present your case to the Queen.
I'm sorry, what now?
What?
Well, clearly, you were bearing my flower.
Yes.
You had gone so far as to visit my most protected of places. The apiary, in fact, is very, very concerning that someone connected with the apiary would be targeted in such a manner.
Truth. So it feels like we're in trouble for some reason, even though I know we're not.
No.
I think it's because we're talking and you're kind of, big and bumpy. And
It's you come from the mainland,
yeah.
so it is clear. Speaking to something that would naturally hunt
Yeah,
mice would be intimidating.
it's a little intimidating, to be honest.
The kestrel sort of like grinds its talons a little into the stonework, and she says, "This is a valuable opportunity that has presented itself to me. I will not lie. I revel in the chance to bring Sidwell to her knees." Prostrating herself for forgiveness for the attempted poisoning. Well, I don't know about attempted. She did. Attempted, I don't want to say assassination, because
Well, obvious. Yeah.
I think assassination is perfect. She flaps her wings and she says, "Getting the Queen's official opinion on this would be exquisite."
Is the Queen like you?
Yes, she loves all of the daughters, but I am certain this will put Sidwell down.
No, is she like
too.
you, ma'am?
Does she like me?
Yes. Like, is she a
No.
she's a
She is a
mouse?
mouse.
Oh, okay.
Yes. She's a mouse.
Okay.
Very graceful at that. Like a mother.
Graceful like a mother. Okay.
Late mother, mind you. That is my request, if you are willing to take it.
Is to go talk
To
to the
come.
queen?
Huh?
Go talk to the queen?
Yes. Present our case. I will sue in place for you, because a daughter certainly has that right. And we will bring your case to the queen
What do you
at
think,
the center court.
I would relish, of course, an opportunity to meet the highest regent of this land. Doing so can only be valuable to us and our trade concern.
Fizzle, Shrug?
My curiosity, though, if you don't mind, my lady, what is the history behind you and Sidwell?
We have differing opinions on various things. And she is also, please mark my words, I think she is a disgusting creature. Many of her methods in teaching the spirit of her ways, I do not approve. Channeling such a species is difficult. She's not called Mother Sidwell for show. Her body is clung to by her most treasured disciples. She's never alone.
Like literally
She treats-
clung to?
Yes, like
Gross.
a patch of little vermin like herself. I'm sure she once was indeed a mother of her species, but now she coddles herself with all kinds and all sorts, rather than teach them.
Okay. And I think we should do this. Yeah. You think
Yeah.
so, Strode?
I think so. We have no other course at this point, and this is our chance to talk to the queen.
Yeah, let's do. Whoop! Oh gosh, you. Okay, go.
Kitty overboard.
No!
No, I've had to do that once or twice. Man, cats. Okay. Goals.
Oh, my goal is going to be to use our time in the inner city to find written proof.
Mine
How
is
about physical proof?
Okay, yes, to find physical proof.
mine is to gain some measure of revenge for the poisoning.
Very nice.
I will probably use my goal probably is to figure out what the hell's going on with Gauss.
What the fuck is going on?
What's going on?
Yeah, he'll be coming too because, well,
Mm-hmm.
Gauss.
what about Thistle?
Thistle's having a hard time making a goal for this.
Do you need to talk with your fellows? And get their opinion on what you should do?
Sure. This is. There's so much going on. And none of it is something that Thistle can punch. And they're not happy about it.
Well, that's not the life of one of us, a coppersmith. There's not a lot of punching as a coppersmith.
Right now, young one, I'm focused on waiting for an opportunity. I find that if you simply go with the flow long enough, usually a chance to kick them in the shins comes around.
goal: kick them in the shins.
Finding a good reason to kick them in the shins is always important.
They poisoned us.
Yes.
Well, that person
There's
is
quite
now...
a good reason to kick them in the shins.
We don't know who them is yet, though.
Maybe as an opportunity, I guess, like assist in the revenge scheme, I guess.
Yes.
So if Finn has an opportunity, that Thistle has an opportunity to get a kick in or something.
I want to kick you!
Boy,
I think that Thistle is going to listen to you all and nod and be like, yes, waiting for the right moment to strike is looking like what we should be doing now. And in their mind, they're formulating a goal that just this once, they're going to rein their anger in to release at the proper time instead of reacting. So their goal is actually to not lash out until we find an answer.
okay. I'll have fun with that.
Good.
So, you agree, and Marivon decides that she will take you all into basically the center of Venn's queendom, and you will enter the High Court with her. This will take place. I think like she decides she'll go in at the evening, and then you all will have a night to stay within somewhere in the palace, and then tomorrow she will take you to court to present your case. And Goss will be coming too. Do you have anything to relate with Goss? In private, because that's totally for you.
Oh, I definitely.
I'll let you handle that.
Does anyone else want to like kind of like chime in before I corner Gauss and talk to him?
I will help you with the cornering.
He will block the doorway.
Okay. So you can just be menacingly sitting in the corner and just stare.
Yes. A role that Thistle is becoming very used to.
All right. So I'm gonna approach Gauss, cornered him in a room, and I'm just gonna kindly sit.
He's like trying to like. He has like his like a bunch of like his like baked goods now, and he's just sort of breaking them open and looking inside.
Gus, what are you doing? I'm sure.
Nothing. They're very stale. You see, I'm trying to find out which ones are stale and which ones are safe to eat.
Oh, okay. Well, besides that factor, you and I have been friends for a long time, have we not?
Yeah, we've been at it for a while.
Okay. Well, I think one of the many things that I cherish about our friendship is that we are honest with each other, right? Even if it means that we'll hurt each other's feelings or our pride, but we tell each other exactly how we feel or the current situation. Am I correct?
Of course.
Okay. Lovely. So, do you mind if can I ask like what's been going on for the past few years? We haven't talked in a while, so let's play catch up. Shall we?
Now that the excitement has mostly passed, let's catch up.
Oh, that's great. So I'm like pouring a cup of tea for both of us, handing one to Gauss, and I'm like, it's not poison, I checked.
He eyes you.
So, Gauss, tell me, I haven't seen you for a while since Spruce Tug. Where did you exactly, what happened to you afterwards? Like, where were you at before you came to Venn?
That's a long time. To be honest, it was mostly, I always did what anybody wants to do in Spruce Tuck. I tried to get jobs working on the scent mixture for the scent border.
Okay.
And that's tough. That's really tough.
But to get the invite from the queen herself to Venn, it's not an easy invite to be invited to be just suddenly invited to your apiary. You must have done something to have garnered her interest.
Well, yeah, there was like this little. It was just sort of like a tiny thing. I was trying to put out certain research papers about my main course of study, which is the insects manner of, scent mixtures.
Okay. And was that how you, I guess, and speaking from a fellow scientist, I know getting assistance must be very difficult. So
the majority of time I was working with ants specifically because, for mice who build their houses in a tree, usually that's rough. Ants can make quick work of that.
And is that how you met Burdock?
Actually, yes. He was young, but I had correspondence with him, and that's why I went to Sand Mason, is to acquire him. He was exceptional assistant. He would have been he would have been great at whatever he wanted to do.
Have you, and obviously we know with the recent incidents that I won't try to, cloud the whole thing. We know that Burdock was responsible for the unfortunate incidences recently. Has he expressed any ill will towards the mainland, or has he said anything out of the ordinary? Has he done anything that might
he did want to stay a little longer. He wanted to have us settle down until we could finish a more extensive paper for, then to archive and distribute to peer review and such. I'll be honest, I wanted to show up the people at Spruce Tuck with this paper.
And I'm assuming Wyatt was on board with this?
Yeah, he does whatever I ask him to. He's got a crush on me, I think. It's really sad because I'm going places that he can't. Burdock was really smart. Wyatt kind of just does what you tell him to.
And this is kind of a random question, but what city did you depart from to go to Venn, out of curiosity?
Well, the plan was, in my letters to Burdock, was to meet him in Sand Mason, and we would set out there. We met up with a representative of Venn. Oh my gosh, you thought it was a great first impression, because this diplomat was, you should have seen her. She was like covered in like purple flowers, and she was absurdly polite. I think her name was Nanette. She let us ride back with her on her ship.
From Sand Mason?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had the funds to travel, and Burdock had never left Sand Mason before. So we figured it would just be easier for me to come to him, and we'd set out to Venn then. He sort of had Nanette on his list of contacts, and that was where the funding mostly came. Then is the up and coming powerhouse. I couldn't get the opportunity anywhere else.
So, guys, I'm going to be honest. I mean, I know that you look highly to your peer and your assistant Burdock, but we can't ignore the facts of what has just recently occurred. And if what you say is true, why would he jeopardize all that he has done to work for this paper and this research to do what he did? There has to be a reason. You must have seen something, or you must have noticed something as to why it might have occurred.
Make a persuader check.
Well,
Can I help with anything? Tough, for example, because I'm sitting there being gruff.
If Neuro allows you to.
yes, please. Anyone else?
Yeah, let's see.
This will be versus his will.
I'm gonna use my deceiver to pretend like I actually like this guy, which is definitely not true because I don't trust him, and I want to lash out and punch him because his stupid assistant got us poisoned. But I'm trying to maintain a sense of dignity and decorum.
Thane?
Yeah, does Thane have anything to contribute?
No, I'm not there. I'm not there.
Okay.
I'm not even in the scene. I thought it was just the two of you, so I assumed that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm,
I
that's fair.
did not insinuate
That's
myself
fair.
into your conversation.
I do know that Finn was sort of in the doorway. So yeah, let's see what you make of this.
Okay,
Could use a fate point to reroll to explode that.
I'm going to do that.
To tie. Well, you can break it in my favor for more players' turn checks. Or we can roll will versus will.
I've got a high will. I'm going to try that.
All right. Let's do so. I challenge you. Ah!
That's probably my best roll ever. I'm gonna suck
Power.
Okay.
The power of friendship. The power of friendship.
Well done.
Okay, he says. Here's my assumptions. Before I acquired Burdock as my apprentice, he made do in Sandmason by working for the Knight Captain. Knight Captain Earl. And he said, and I'll be honest, he kind of did point me in the direction of requesting Venn to front this venture of mine. He painted a very impressive picture of Venn and where it was going, and that a lot of the coastal region would have a lot of dealings with Venn in the meantime, and that we should get a foothold. So you just want like something he noticed or knew about Burdock, like deep.
Yeah, that's
And
about
you
it.
succeeded horribly. Okay.
And at what point did he realize that his invention was being used for violence?
Honestly, right after you left yesterday. Or not yesterday, that was a week ago. Oh my God. After our encounter. After our encounter, I did notice few things odd about him. He wasn't really focused on any of his work. Most of his equations were flunky. He really didn't trust you, Stroud. And I can kind of see why now. Something about your proximity to what we were doing, and he knew that you worked for the guard. I think it kind of jump-started something that he was involved in. I don't know where he went after we clocked out for the day, but when he came back, I imagine he had the Nightshade. Or the Wolf's Bane.
So that raises a bigger threat question in terms of the fact that did he communicate to others that we are guards?
I think he wanted to keep our research kind of on the down low from the mainland. I mean, that's why he dragged us all the way out here, so we wouldn't have as much scrutiny.
Mm-hmm.
Was poison in what you had too?
Yeah, the whole batch.
How were you not poisoned?
I was poisoned. I just didn't swallow. Like he's sort of like him and Stroud, like were busy talking, and they just sort of like chewed mostly. They didn't really like imbibe as much as you guys did. That's my excuse.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were poisoned as well, why would this person be willing to sacrifice you if your research is helping in whatever their grand plan is?
Well, it's possible that the research is helpful, but only as far as its widespread knowledge goes. If the guard hears that for some reason I am mixing chemicals to control various behaviors of widespread insects, then yeah, that's bad. Yeah, like, can you imagine if
But have
I decided
you finished the project?
I mean, we've made headway for certain layers of sense to, ward away various tides of ants and such.
Is there anyone else you're aware of as good at this as you?
Heck no.
Well,
They laughed at me trying to make
Sorry.
No, this research was assumed to be unnecessary.
Yes, but not for what they're trying to do. It seems to me that this was sloppy of your assistant. Perhaps an unsanctioned attack. Perhaps something got botched along the way. We won't ever really know, but if this were communicated from some top-down organization, I can't imagine they'd be willing to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Getting rid of us.
He was, was he? I don't know. He might have been smart enough to keep doing it.
You worked with him. Do you think he could have?
No.
So why are you suddenly disposable as well? Either A, your position isn't what we think it is, or B, this person worked without a net and made a potentially grave error.
Well, are we going to tell this to the Queen?
No. But it's good
Then
for
what?
us to know.
What do we tell her then?
Right now, I'm concerned about what you say to anyone.
He makes that face. Ooh.
You're the only one who knows who we are.
And you're also the center of all of this.
So I assume you can tell just how dangerous it would be for you to mention us to anyone in any capacity other than as tradesmice.
Okay, I can do that. So if I can make a small assumption, We currently have about 4 ant hills that are maintained on Venn, and we've done extensive work on isolating queens. If they have the means to produce the chemical to incite an aggressive mode in the hive, in the is an anthill a hive? Not really. No, in the colony. Thank you. In the ant colony, it could be very bad if we're in one of the towers.
And I
So
imagine
keeping this on the down low and not putting. If we back whoever this is into a corner, I'm kind of worried.
This kind of strategizing is best left to Thane.
Okay.
I think we should probably bring Thane into this conversation now, or if he's in nearby, I don't know.
I'm
Now that
probably
we know
nearby.
that-
I just didn't want to.
Yeah. It was a personal scene.
Yeah.
So I think I know this is a larger question for the group. So I would like to bring Thane. I would kind of like, tug at Thane to come inside.
I'm interested in how you would explain this to Thane as well.
So,
Yo, bro, let me lay it down for you.
let's lay it down. So my honest opinion is I think Gus truly did not know what was happening. I think that in his communications with Burdock, who was the assistant that poisoned us, Burdock obviously had other plans in place. And I think that we're right now between a rock and a hard place in the sense that we do not know where his true intentions might be. And obviously that he's dead, so we can't really question him. And also it seems that further probing and essentially bringing this into life for the Queen might bring some further catastrophe from the anthills that are near the towers.
Wait, why?
So I'm looking over at Gauss. Gauss, would you like to explain?
My specialty is in concocting and replicating certain insect, I like to call them activators. And I'm worried that if whoever was backing my late assistant could use that to activate aggressive maneuvers.
Drive the ants into a frenzy and slaughter people in villages.
Correct.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so on the one hand, we don't have to say much of anything when we go there.
It's also the bees.
Yeah, or drive the bees into a murderous frenzy. I understand. Yeah. Which is terrible, but we need to find some sort of actual proof, right?
Goss, when you were brought here, what was the stated purpose for your being brought here? What did they specifically want you to be able to do? Just control them in general, or to specifically be able to tell them to attack?
Specifically to continue my research into the measure that you could control a colony and a hive in certain cases, mostly to ward them away from certain, areas.
And who gave you this job? Like, whose orders can this be traced to? Do you?
Well, I actually have little. This is my. He holds up a sheet of paper. This is my the contract, and he, gives it to you, and it's a very flowery language, but it basically lays out that his research will be funded, and house and board will be provided for him and his assistants in return for allowing Venn to archive his research as it flows out.
They pay for it. They get first crack at the research.
Who
Basically,
signed the order?
yeah. It has the seal of the queen and the recommendation of Sidwell, who has the signed authority of Ludher Krotik.
Okay.
Okay.
Sidwell is the
Opossum.
that's the possum. Luder Krotik is
The high muckety religious
High
muck.
priest, yeah.
okay. So you are a national treasure.
I am?
Yes, and someone just attempted to assassinate you.
All right. So I have 3 thoughts. Thought number 1 is we need to immediately have you start working on a counter agent once we get out of here.
Shouldn't we get out of here right now?
Pause. We have
Yes,
to go
pause.
we have to go meet the queen. And we're missing one piece of connective evidence here. Do you have anything that shows that this research has been used to create violent ants or violent bees? I can't go to Gwendolyn unless I know for a fact this is the case.
There are security measures, in fact. You've
Okay.
heard about the fox, right?
Is that the
Yes.
the one
Yeah,
who ran away?
we have.
Yeah.
One of the first things we had to figure out was how to establish a colony line so that if they tried to cross a certain point, they would be ravaged. And over time, we made that line get deeper into territory.
So the fox is being held at bay with ants?
You'd be surprised. These
I'm
aren't
not
your average
surprised.
ants.
I
What do
am
you, before I have a
appalled
question
at the
for you.
ferocity.
Well, we also have bees. We have certain. It's a weird system, but basically, if something goes wrong and the hive is attacked, we can release a defensive mechanism that will make them go buck wild.
I have a question.
Usually,
This for
that's
4.
in case of a bear
Yeah.
clawing their way into the hive. Usually,
So
that's what got me started on this research in the first place. Really, is the bear.
question for 4.
That was awful.
Is this enough? Do I think this is enough information? If we either get a written testimony from, I keep wanting to call him Goss, although it is Goss, right? It's Goss.
Yeah, it's Goss.
Okay.
Not
There's
Gauze,
One
but
of my
Goss.
favorite NPCs from another game is also called Goss, so I thought it was. That's why yeah.
Aw.
And I didn't want to misname him. Goss. We either get written testimony from Goss, or we bring Goss with us, right? And that should be enough to connect all the dots for Gwendolyn.
The contract that he has
Mm-hmm.
is critical.
Okay.
If you can retrieve proof of the concoctions that he's describing
Yeah.
for the bees and for the ants,
Yeah.
then yeah. And he tells you the bee one is kind of just hanging there. We never use it because we haven't
Can I
had
get
to.
it?
The ants,
How do
though,
we
that
get
has
it?
to be replenished every now and then.
Okay, so how do we get some of the bee concoction?
Well, I would think you would have to just take it from where it's hung.
Yeah,
at the
where's it
hive.
hung? So we can just go to the hive and surreptitiously grab some and get out of here.
Yeah, but if they notice it's gone, then they'll be suspicious.
Can
Can
we
you just
replicate
make
it?
some? Yeah,
I mean, we could.
Yeah, so my thought was we could just replace it with a similar looking vial, but if we have the time to replace it. Although that also worries me that they have it. I would rather just have some sort of look-alike liquid in a vial hanging there rather than the actual bee angering concoction of doom.
It's kind of true. They wouldn't really know the difference unless they got a whiff of it, which is
Yeah.
the point. To,
That's what I'm
not
thinking.
Let that
Is
happen.
like, if we just put something in a vial that looks like that and hang it in its place, you don't have to make any more. We don't give them a weapon, and we remove a weapon.
Yeah. That
Could be in the
work.
guise. Could be in the guise of, hey, it's an improved formula. I don't know.
I mean, don't
not
say
only
anything.
that-
Don't say anything. Saying something
Like, not only that,
yeah.
we're going into the capital. There are glaziers there that we can easily hire.
There we go. This is plan. Okay, so our plan is this. We have to go to the capital anyways. Our physical evidence is your contract, you, and that vial. Okay?
Okay.
I feel like it is weird for you to leave. I feel like that would raise more questions at a time when a lot of questions are being raised. So what I think we need to do is let us keep your contract. You write a deposition form for us that we can take with us to Gwendolyn, and we bring the B-gunk. You stay here so no one is askance. We just say we're going back to Copperwood to bring back the next shipment, XYZ, and then we get the next step with Gwendolyn, and then we get the hell back here, we get you out, and we do whatever else we need to do.
All right.
Plan? Team? Okay, which requires us to, once we go to the capital city, get a glazier and say nothing about any of this, and just be like, yeah, the opossum's awful, and we should all go do something. We might have to do something about the opossum first to keep our cover, and that'll be what it'll be. But, nah. But Costa, you don't have to come on that part, so you could actually get the vial made. You know its specifications already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I could come with Gus, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
You hear from outside a voice. Open the door, please.
No.
Gus,
No.
listen.
No.
Who is that?
No.
They had cinnamon rolls, but
No.
they're too expensive. So I just have regular rolls with honey icing.
No.
And he says, that's why I haven't eaten a lot.
Oh, I thought it sounded like someone else we knew.
They have cranberries.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's not the other boy. It's not the other boy.
Okay. I was just saying.
It's not the other. That would be fucking hilarious.
I know.
Right? I miss Vaden so much.
That sounds like a good place to take a break, right?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. We'll be right back after these important messages from our amazing sponsors and our amazing patrons who help support everything that goes on here. Once I find the Be Right Back movie, I always have such a hard time finding it. All right. Stick with us, folk. We'll be back in just a few minutes. I gotta go potty. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you get a second during break, you should check out one of our amazing sponsors. We're now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the best virtual tabletop for all your role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games. And with more modules than you can shake a stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot. Your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdware. It's what the nerds wear. Devin Rue, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to rueinc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a buck or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. We're back.
Oh, I love that splash crash. Shatter into 1,000 pieces, like my dreams.
Oh.
When not only did you guys successfully deduce a lot of shit before we went on break, but the weather is cold.
Yes.
Is there anything else you have in mind of doing before Mervyn, the kestrel daughter of Krotik, guides you into the Venn, basically the Venn capital, the center of the island?
Nope. I don't have anything else. Anybody else?
Actually, yeah. Right before the break, I was wanting, as everybody left, Thistle kind of hung back in the room with Goss and approached them and really got up in their face, and they're remembering the incident in their past with Charles the Old, and they're looking at another old man who's trying to use bugs as weapons, and they're going to be very calm and whisper to him, "We'll be leaving you here, but if they come for you and they tell you to make these insects kill for them, it would be better for you if you were to eat poison and die and let me find you." And then they're gonna walk off.
Okay. He gives a very wary glance at the stale muffins that he was inspecting earlier. Yeah. That's
not
he's-
how the Mouseguard's supposed to be.
Damn.
He is intimidated.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm
They're
also
not happy about
intimidated.
this situation at all.
I imagine that. So.
This might be the first time that, and of course I don't actually know that you did that, but this might be one of the first things that Finn and Thistle really agree on.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful, beautiful sentence there. You had better eat poison rather than have me find you. Okay. You take an evening march with several. I think it's like sort of like a formal like escort / parade into the center of the island, where Mervyn is flying overhead. She sort of like dives, not to attack, which is what some of you like. Oh god! But sort of just to be a presence in the sky as you pass various villages and mills along the island's core. And you reach what looks to be possibly the most, I would say, the most out in the open town you have ever seen, because usually the mice of the territories build their settlements inside, you know, like Lockhaven is built into like a cluster of boulders and vines. Ivydale is like hidden amongst an undergrowth. Copperwood and what is it? Barkstone are mostly under a big tree where no predators can sniff them out. It seems that with the freedom to build out and openly, the mice of Venn and some of the other species that ally themselves, who are considered citizens among them, have taken such powerful measures in their architecture, and it is daunting to see buildings that dwarf anything you have seen before. The ability to accommodate not just mice, but creatures such as weasels and other tall animals is astounding. There are immense archways. There are widespread buildings with several stories. There are domed structures that leave you gasping, essentially. Even amidst the darkness of the night, you sort of see these outlines of strange and newfound shapes above you and surrounding you as you enter the streets of Venn's palace.
I have 2 quick questions.
Yo!
One, do we have our stuff back? Like, say, our tabards and our weapons?
Your tabards, yes. Your weapons, no.
Yeah. Okay. And then, secondly, I'm a little confused about the scale of the island.
Yeah.
So we're marching to the center of the island. How long does that take to do?
It takes about... It's going to take... Like, you guys are going to start marching at, like, 7 o'clock. And you'll probably reach around, like, 8:30. I think.
Oh, wow. Okay. So the island's a lot smaller, really, than I thought it was.
I think it is.
I can learn to understand you much better if I can get familiar with the way you...
The cartographer has never been there, so they never actually, like, scaled the map to size, because Venn is such an isolated community.
Sure. I'm taking note of all of these things in my head for the purposes of potentially drawing a better map later.
Yeah, and there are a lot of good reference points, and that's you're actually really grateful that Venn made so much of their stuff out of underground, because you can see the landmarks of their towers and of the... Yeah, you can see like the city of Venn's center is like surrounded by the outskirts of agricultural suburbs, really.
Yeah.
And the towers sort of like mark the limits of how far this operation extends. So making a map of this in the future will be very, very good. But you are guided into a immense courtyard where flowers of every sort of sprinkle the path. And while the rest of the city is more urban, it's clear that a heavy amount of room was left to blossom in order to sort of give it this very beautiful surrounding. And the palace itself is very big. You enter, and it is immediately leading into the head court. And you see that the kestrel doesn't go through the front door. There are other openings which she dives into, sort of like large windows that are closed behind her as she steadies herself into position. And what I think happens here is announces your presence to the court marshal, essentially, who is a weasel standing beside the throne. And he steps forward. He is garbed in armor that is... It's a little different from Dark Heather garb. He has what looks like an iron helm with a spike on top of it, and underneath it, he's covered himself with what looks like some sort of a very, like, I forget the name for it. I used to have the name, but it's a head wrap, essentially.
Turban?
And what? A ribbon?
Turban.
A turban? No, because turban has like it has a big shape. This one is more like a short head wrap.
Okay.
And he has a long sword attached to his hip, as well as several daggers on the other one that are more ornamental. And he approaches, and Maravon declares, "I am here to request the Queen's judgment against the matron and blah, I don't know what she says.
Against the matron Sidwell
for being a bitch.
She's a
Yeah.
bitch. She tried to poison these mice, and I don't want her to do that. Can you please stop? Please make her stop. Please make her stop.
That gives me life.
Yeah.
So she makes this proclamation. The matron Opossum Sidwell has committed a crime against me, and I demand justice and judgment from the Queen. And he nods and gives a curt bow and says, very well, Queen Rosaria will consider this. Of course, she is already taken to bed, but you can rest assured the dahlia will bloom come morning, and you will witness her judgment. We will send for daughter Sidwell. And he sort of gestures to the side and says, the guest chambers shall be open to you and ensure that tabards do not go missing. We will need to refer to you in the coming hours.
Of course.
Welcome to the Palace of the Blooming Dahlia.
Thank you for your hospitality.
You actually see the dahlia behind the throne. So,
like the person or the flower?
The flower.
Okay.
And you see that it's sort of like behind the throne, but like towering over it. And there's obviously like a point of spotlight from the sun from above that will just almost like in the rest of this like domed ceiling, you can see like it would burn like a circle around the throne and the dahlia. And
meanwhile, Thane thinks, how easy would it be to steal a petal or petals from the dahlia?
You could walk up if you want.
I want to just walk up and take a look at it.
Okay, if you walk up and take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
It is allowed to a certain extent. And the marshal, he walks with you and he says, not many mice of your caliber are able to witness such things as this. Consider yourself, in a very strange sort of sense, lucky.
My caliber is far higher than any leaf could attest.
He chuckles at that. And he sort of turns to you and holds out a paw. And he says, my name is Rockshaw.
Thane.
The marshal.
I mean, Eric. I'm sorry, Eric. Right.
Uh-huh.
That is our name. Eric.
And rest assured, you will be protected before the trial begins.
Fabulous. How long do we expect a trial like this to last?
Well, really depends on how much of a fuss daughter Sidwell would put up.
I imagine it'll be a lot of a fuss.
There are certain names that she has acquired, the Nocturne Matron. But I like the one that's the everlasting shattering mass.
Oh. Great.
She has many excuses, most of which are whispered into her ear by her disciples that cling to her fur. I very much question her sanity sometimes.
Well, this will be exciting tomorrow, then.
It will be exciting. You should be fine.
Yeah. We're here with, I think, amazing protection and an insightful leader. So I'm sure we will be okay.
Yes, it is good that you relied on Marivon for this.
Yeah.
She is a exceptional daughter
Yes,
of Kruvik.
indeed.
It has been a while since we saw her in the capital.
Can't speak to that.
How new are you?
To her service, quite new.
I see.
Yes.
Well, simply be polite and be honorable tomorrow when you are before the Queen, and do not speak out of turn.
Of course not. And I will make sure that my companions do the same.
Excellent.
As he says that, I glare at Thistle.
Thank you.
Thistle glares at everyone.
All right.
Angry mouse face. Yeah. Yeah.
It's all scrunched up and cute, and the little whiskers that go.
I love
Okay.
it.
You are led to quarters deeper into the palace, to the left wing, in fact. You are set into a communal room, which has sort of a depression in the middle where it is like a ring of cushions where you can basically lounge. And in the middle, there is what looks like a feast prepared for you.
Ooh.
Yes, and because you are mice, they have procured all of the delicacies that are attributed to your appetites.
Man flesh. Yeah.
Rabbit's milk.
Rabbit's
Fried chicken.
Deer milk.
Ah,
Yeah.
damn, you brought it back.
Nicely done, Neuro. Nicely done.
Very good.
Yeah.
Full circle. Let's bring it back.
Yeah.
This is
You're-
the nicest prison I've ever been in.
We need to go find a glazier.
Someone who
yeah,
makes glass.
Yeah, for glaze making.
yeah. Goss says, "Yeah, I've been in the city before. Basically, every building almost has a connection to the under streets, and where it's only 9:00. There's something open. We can put it in order, I'm sure."
Excellent. I don't know how long this trial is going to take, but I'd like us to leave as soon as it's over.
Okay. He's still like, he's a bit resentful that he has to stay. It's pretty obvious.
Thank you, Sylvanov.
Thank you, Sylvanov, for the 100 bits. Or was it 200? Was it 100? I missed it.
100.
100. Okay. So, Goss, you seem troubled.
Yeah. This is just a lot to take in, is all.
You helped create a weapon that could wipe out an entire.
It
mouse
wasn't
family.
meant to be a weapon.
I understand. I didn't say it was on purpose. And so now we're gonna have to try and fix that. And your part in this is to help us make it right. But that means we can't blow our covers. I'm imagining you do not want to stay here.
No.
But
Now that I know that they are potentially making something deadly.
As one of the people who knows how to make that something deadly, you're able to put a little extra salt in the soup and make it unpalatable, if you know what I mean.
Sour the milk.
The deer's milk.
I was making a Star Trek reference, but you brought
I don't
it
know
back
what
around.
that is. I did. I that was purely thanks to Stroud for reminding me about that thing I forgot about.
He sort of considers this and says, just get back here. I don't want to stay here any longer than I need to.
You're putting yourself in danger, and I respect that. And I want to thank you for it. You don't we can't technically force you to stay, but you're doing so as an act of bravery that could save a lot of mouses' lives.
Meanwhile, in the background, Thistle is like looking at Goss like super glare and like picking up rolls and like tearing them apart, picking up a piece of cornbread and like crumbling it into little bits.
Oh man, I love it.
Thane, may I offer an option? And you can totally decline me in this situation.
Hit me.
Would it be prudent for me to stay behind with Gauss? Okay.
And here's why. Well, two big reasons. One, you're part of my patrol, and my patrol always gets back safely. Two, you're the only scientist who can explain this with any sort of expertise to anyone back home. I can't leave both smart people here.
I would send you back with PowerPoints or something, but okay. Pretty diagrams.
Yeah. I think it is more dangerous to leave you.
Understood.
Yeah. To the glacier.
Yep. Okay. So here's the thing. You could do one of two rolls. You can either make the circles roll to find an appropriate glacier, and Goss will pay for it, or he can do the circles, and you can pay for it with your resources.
I will do the circles.
Okay.
Because I have a bunchies, if I recall correctly. I have circles 4 and resources 4, so I can make a circles test.
This will be obstacle 3.
Okay. I'm going to chuck a clever in on that. And then anybody else can help me out?
And you're trying to do exactly what?
Oh, I am trying to help us find a glacier who can make a replica of the one that is currently hanging in the apiary that has the bee gunk that makes bees angry.
I can't assist with my circles, can I?
I think how though? Like what? I think with circles, it's beneficial to use a skill as well, sort of. I think so. Like if you were a glacier, obviously you would be able to help with finding a glacier.
I got nothing on this one. I don't think.
If it was resources.
I have resources.
Yeah, everybody has resources.
I will assist with resources if other people can assist with other things.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, with circles, you would have to circles is about using your connections and your personal charm, I think, to sort of find the individual you need.
Right. Yeah. So am I able to help with resources or no?
No.
Okay.
Can't grease a few palms.
Then I don't think I have anything that I can help with then.
I don't think the rules say you can help with.
No, it's not a skill. It makes sense that you couldn't because everyone's got it.
Yeah.
I probably couldn't help out from a scientist perspective.
That's true. Hi, Zoe.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And Thistle, anything you can help with?
Yeah, I was thinking that I could use my carpentry skills to help out. I will, as we're going along trying to find glaziers who are actually good at their job, look at the way they store their tools and how much they admire the workmanship of other crafters so that they always have what they need at hand to do the best work they can.
I mean, I like that.
Too true.
All right.
I will allow this.
That puts me at 7 dice.
Obstacle 3.
Boink. Nice. 4 successes.
Do you want to name this character?
Yes. Their name is Sandalton.
Ah, beautiful.
Because they make glass, and so they work with sand, and so their name is Sandalton.
How quaint.
Why not just Sandy?
Because I'm more ostentatious than that personally.
Okay,
and so there needs to be extra. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. You find Sandalson?
Sandalton. Yes.
Sandalton.
Like Randalton, except sand.
I just want to call him Sandals now. To his friends, you're told, you just need to go to Sandals. He'll get you right sorted. And it turns out it's sandal-tints, glass, panes, and windows.
Nice. Okay, I found it, Goss. You got to do the talking because I have no clue what
Okay.
I'm looking for here.
So he puts in he essentially places the order.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, do you all want to help with his resources? Because he only has 3.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of you are putting.
I'm richer than that. Yeah.
Yep.
So 7. All right.
Do we want
The
me to pay for
obstacle-
it when I see how short he is?
How about, he actually hit, I was going to say it was going to be obstacle 4 because of, the timeline and whatnot.
Yeah.
So none of you lose resources. Great.
Yay.
All right. And from there, he will have the jug, the jar, the container. And from there, he will be able to pick it up basically tomorrow, later in the day.
Nice.
Hopefully after the trial when you are not.
Yeah.
If all goes well.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to do before you depart for bed?
Not.
I want to take a look around. I kind of just want to go for a walk, and partially just see where I'm allowed to go. Like every so often, I'll kind of like walk maybe a little further than I think I'm allowed, just to see what the reaction is.
Essentially, you'll be able to travel through most of the open streets. You see that there are various corridors that have what looks like dwellings for several families, or you see that certain stalls are being locked away into storefronts. There are guards of different daughters here and there, but essentially you have free reign to go wherever you please, as long as it's not in some place that is kind of conflicting with another daughter. Like you see that there are like a few sunflower tabards in one section that sort of glower at you.
Okay. I haven't ever been frisked so much as like when we were found, they grabbed my crap. But like, what are the? Essentially, what I'm asking. Well, do I think that if I were able to find, say, a small bladed object, for example, that I could successfully hide it on my person?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, that's definitely something I'm attempting to do then.
Let's find a way to make a check out of that. So, do you want to buy one?
I will happily buy one if someone will sell me one.
Make a obstacle to resources check.
Okay. What if I want to buy four of them?
Obstacle 3 in that case. Are you telling anyone you do this?
Nope. Well, 3 successes.
Yay!
All right. You buy them, and it is right before the store closes. It is a armorer who has a lovely display of decorative blades of all sorts, but you decide to go to the bottom left corner where it's basically like kitchen knives.
Yep.
Okay. You receive 4 daggers, 4 sheaths, and you pay the man in accordance with the price.
Yep.
You have 4. Write them down if you on your character sheet if you would like to remember. And
hand, tail, mouth for the 4th one.
You don't actually want to know where the 4th one goes. It's meant to be a surprise.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Hides.
Where do I put that on my character sheet exactly?
There should be a place for equipment.
Oh, gear. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, or gear, rather. Blah.
Yeah. 4
Okay.
knives.
Well, is there anything else? Any other espionage activities you want to attend to?
Nope. I will calmly wander my way back to the room.
Walk casual.
Yep. Super cash. I'm like whistling a jaunty tune.
Lovely.
Do I make it back all right?
You do.
Are there any guards mouse in our room? Not guards like us, but like guards.
There are no guards in your room, but there are guards patrolling the hallway that your room entrance is in.
Sure. Hey, come here. All of you.
What?
Even me? Says Wyatt.
Go away, Wyatt.
Even me? Says Goss.
Go away, Goss. Hide him.
Slink. Put it in my little vesticle.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Just in case.
I'm sure there's somewhere for Thistle to hide stuff.
Well, you have a tabard,
right?
Yeah. And they're like you could put on more clothes than necessary.
It's like this big. Fingers like this big. I'm just thinking about it in real size.
Right?
Yeah.
They are little. Oh, I love it. All right. Is there any other anything else? This is literally your night.
I'm sleepy, and I actually get to sleep, and I won't be tired when I wake up, or sick, or hungry, or thirsty. I'm happy sleeping.
Can I attempt one more time to calm myself down? Now that I'm feeling a little bit more protected.
I will allow this. Go ahead and roll your will.
That. I will allow this.
I will do the same after Finn does this thing.
Yeah, I'll allow one recovery check for each of you.
I don't need it.
Thistle is also quite healthy.
God damn it.
Oh no.
It's will, right?
Yeah. I have only ever failed will tests.
Is that enough? I thought it's an obstacle too, right?
Turns out, yeah. So I think you succeed.
Thank God.
Oh, what's the one that lets me? Is there one of the things I can use to re-roll?
You'd need a wise.
Yeah, it has to be a wise that is appropriate, and it costs 1 fate point to reroll 1 and a persona point to reroll all.
Are you?
It has to be related
wise?
to a wise.
Yeah, I do not have a wise. I mean, I'm cold snap wise. I know how to cool off.
Hey, yeah.
I mean, it is cold outside.
Yeah,
it is cold outside.
Chill out.
Unless you're allowing that silliness, no, I am unable.
I'm sorry. You're just. What are you angry about this time?
I'm just still fucking pissed. Like the ever since we got here, everything has just gone poorly, and it's not been our fault, really. We haven't done anything wrong. It's just this place is constantly screwing with us.
I can think of a few things.
No. We've been fine.
Self-delusion is key here. Self-delusion is key.
Yeah. So it's all been the fault of external forces, and I hate Venn, and I hate everyone in Venn.
But it's so pretty.
Venn. Yeah, with all these stupid flowers everywhere. I just don't like it.
Hate it.
There's peace. Everybody it loves one another.
Hate it.
Friend to each other. Does anybody have a cool dream? I don't know. You guys go to sleep. You want to just fast forward to court tomorrow?
I just dream about formulas. That's all I can dream about. Terribly.
And then they twist into ants. They start crawling towards you. Yeah, the formulas like grow little like hairy legs.
Nope. That's a nope from me. I'm an arachnophobe. I can't do that.
So, here's the thing. The court tomorrow will possibly be a conflict. We have not done conflicts before. So, a conflict is essentially a waged battle, in this case, a duel of wits.
Duel of wits.
Where you guys will represent one team, and the Nocturne Matron will represent another. You will each sort of gather dice to roll your hit points, which are disposition in this game, and you will use your social skills in replacement of, fighter and other things. And this is the thing. In Mouseguard, we do this in volleys. So let me actually go to a prepared page I have for conflicts. Let's see.
Will we be able to do this in the time we have?
That's my question, actually. Yeah. We could start it. We have 30 minutes, I think? 20?
Yeah, we have about 30 minutes plus beliefs and wrap up.
We could do it if you rock it.
Okay.
So here's the thing. There are 4 actions in a conflict: attack, defend, feint, and maneuver. When you attack, you're using, in this case, in the argument, you're like, she's lying and they're very bad. They're wrong. That's an attack. You reduce the opponent's disposition by the number of successes that you roll. And if you defend, it's the opposite. I'm not bad. Look at what I've done. I'm an ideal citizen. That is protecting yourself from another person's attack. But if you feint, that is a sneaky maneuver in which you take control of the argument in case your opponent defends. So if I say, no, I am not bad, I am an ideal citizen, the feint would be, oh, really? Objection. I have evidence saying that you are indeed an asshole. And then the court is like, oh, it's like a shock moment. Or you can do a maneuver. Maneuvers sort of are supporting actions. They bolster the next person's action with either a comment on their character or more evidence or something that will discredit your opponent. That is basically it. And because we are doing an argument, you guys will need to roll your disposition. Who has basically, this is how you're going to approach this. You guys can use any of the 3 social skills to approach this. You can use Deceiver / Manipulator. You could use Orator, or you could use Persuader.
I have a Persuader of 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got Deceiver or whatever it is in the newer version of 2. No, that's it. I've got Deceiver of 2.
And I have Persuader of 3. So.
Oh.
Thistle?
Very nice. I also have a Manipulator of 2.
So Neuro has the most points.
Yes.
And everybody, you will be helping him because you're on the same team, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
no!
I will.
Stab in the back.
Help.
Even me, says Neuro, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna gather your Persuader, which is 3. You're gonna add 3 because your patrol is helping you, so that's 6 dice.
Okay.
The daughter, Kestrel Maravon, is also going to grant you helping dice.
Oh, yay.
Oh. Okay.
Goss will also grant you helping dice as well. So that's a total of 9?
8 so far.
8.
I'm so
3,
dumb.
3, and 2.
8.
Yeah, learn how to count. God, 4.
I'm busy.
All right, so I'm rolling 8 on the
8 dice, and you're going to add the successes to your will.
Okay.
That's bad.
Can I
Not
explode
great.
that 6?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Whoop.
Stretching.
Hey, it explodes again.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Hey.
Keep going.
Exploded.
It keeps exploding.
It keeps
Exploding
exploding,
dice.
yeah.
Keeps
All right.
exploding.
Yep.
Shit.
Oh,
So
well.
what is your will?
6.
6. So it's a total of 9 in disposition. So let me go ahead and put
We've got 9 hit points. We're gonna.
Nine.
I don't know what that means.
I'm gonna roll for the possum.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh.
That's big.
Yep.
That's
The
what he
opossum
said.
has 6 for its nature, so it's gonna have 11.
oh. It's up on us by 2.
All right. Here's what is going to happen next.
I don't know.
Friends,
Romans,
we now
Countrymen?
have to
country meese.
Oh, lovely. We now have to gather in the court. You are all assembled. Queen Rosaria Hellicent enters, garbed in a fine dress of multicolored petals. She sits herself on the throne in front of the Dahlia and shivers slightly because the chill of Venn currently is a little bit. Oh. The daughter, Maravan, is situated on a rung above all of you. This little, it's the best bird seat in the house, you imagine. And you see other strange individuals here. You can't exactly decide whether they are, in fact, daughters, but you do see different animals assembled as well. You see several mice. You see maybe a dozen ferrets. You do see a squirrel sort of situated nearby on another rung, sort of like very obviously like hyped up and very excited. You do not see a snapping turtle, which would take up a very large portion of this room. What you do see as Queen Hellicent essentially introduces the two daughters in a very gentle voice. She says, "The daughter Maravan approaches with a case. Miss Maravan, I welcome you." And she looks to this side hall as the nocturne matron enters. She is really fugly. Her mouth is open, and she moves at a slow gait that sways from side to side. And her long fingernails, which is really weird to say because she has like fingers, clack on the floor, and you see there are about 5 creatures clinging to her. 2 of them are mice. 1 appears to be a vole. There is a small weasel wrung around her neck near her ear. And there is a little opossum sort of at her haunch, all of them clinging to her fur as she enters. And Queen Hellicent says, "The accused daughter of the Sunflower Prairie. You stand accused of of wrongdoing. Both my judgment and the advice of our Lord Father, Krotik, will mete out justice this day." And you see a figure enters from behind the Dahlia. And it is a gray ferret. No, gray weasel. A gray weasel with a long, dusty robe, his head uncovered, and clearly he's on the end spectrum of how long a weasel should live. He's very old from the looks of it, and his long, sinuous body is sort of hunched over in this disturbing angle, as though he is about to tip over at any second if he leans too far to one way or another. And he raises his paw and says, "May the Great Spirit grant us true sight so that all will lie before us." Dr. Mariner, you accuse your fellow daughter of poisoning through an agent. Miravan says, "Yes. I present these 5 mice who were the targets. Thankfully, the quick action of Bartholomew rescued them from a horrid fate at the hands of the wolfsbane that is native to my lands. I believe that, well, you'll hear from their account, and that is where we will begin."
All right. Bart, the moment that you have an option to demand trial by combat, it's the only way out.
And Thistle will be our champion.
But that's what got us in trouble in the first place, is combat.
Yeah, it's true.
Shh.
I mean, you're right.
Oh no, it's hot and spicy, and it almost went down the wrong throat.
You only have one throat. Do you have a second throat?
I have 3 throats.
That's weird. That's weird.
Rock, you don't know the power of our gay biology.
That's fair.
As a doctor, I can attest to that.
Mm-hmm. It's a secret. We will never tell you the number. Here's how we'll play this conflict. There are 3 actions in a volley. One of you could take this in any order you want. You will decide which action your character will take, what they say, and then you'll roll your skill of choice in order to win the argument, essentially, and present your case as thoroughly as you possibly can.
Okay.
Let me decide what the opposite team will do, just so that we will be prepared.
Do we have
Stick
3
to
volleys?
simple statements, things that we can prove.
We were poisoned. That person worked for you. You're mean.
Yep.
Okay, I'm ready.
Why do you suck?
Wow.
Statements, not questions.
Oh shit! Right. Sorry. Cross-examination question. Why do you suck?
Yeah. Follow up. Why are you also the worst?
She says,
ugly.
Does it bother you that your tail is gross looking and naked? No.
The little possum goes, "That's so mean! That's my mom!"
Knives out, everyone. They're getting shrieky.
All right. Looks like
Didn't you know
menu,
that their
boys.
nature included screaming at ass?
All right. So how do we define who does what?
Somebody decides, I'm going to attack. Then another player decides, I'm going to do defend. And the last person says, I'm going to do maneuver. And then the 4th person will go first on the next volley.
Okay.
I volunteer to go first next time.
Oh.
I will faint.
You're going to feint first action?
Yes.
Okay.
We're here today to discuss truth and the nature of truth, and why it is that what you are going to hear from the opposition is a bald-faced lie.
Well, guess what? They chose defend.
Okay.
Now, normally we wouldn't do this one by one, but I think it will make this go so much more smoothly. You'll have an opportunity to counter, but the weasel essentially lifts its head and sort of rasps, "These outsiders, they have not been in Venn for even I was about to say a day, and then I was like, wait, they've been here a week. But then I was like, wait, they've been here more than a week. They have not even been here for a half moon's time. Clearly, they are here to spread lies and discredit the Great Mother. And now it's your opportunity to shred them, essentially.
Oh, I should respond? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Because remember, feint is like sweeping the rug out from under them.
Yes. I believe our opponents are blind to the fact that, though we may be new here, we are trusted by one of equal stature as this speaker. And to insult us and call us new and untrustworthy is to call her, who gave us this trust, untrustworthy. And she is one of the daughters, Kotek.
Yeah.
That's spicy. So
Body blow.
roll your social skill, whatever that may be, and
I'm gonna explode it though.
I was about to say add traits and other bonuses. You also add 2 helping dice from the mice in the current volley.
Oh, nice. Okay, sorry, my bad.
So I think you roll 2 more dice.
I roll at least 2 more dice. And
Yeah.
then direction sense is going to help me here, so I roll 2 more dice. Oh, shit!
Wait.
Okay.
Direction sense helping? What?
No, I said it's not going to help me here, sweetheart.
Oh my God. I thought you were like, I misheard. Okay, never mind. Okay, so that's
I'll have 4 successes.
nicely 4 successes. They are already down to 7. Not bad.
Very good.
All right. The court is like, oh, and the queen narrows her eyes towards the opossum.
Liars! And that's my go.
All right. Who's next?
I could do a maneuver, unless you've got something you want to do, Stroud.
I kind of want to go on the attack.
Do it.
Do it! Do it, do it!
So I'm going to come up and say that regardless of the situation here at hand, science here will speak louder than any other arguments or any situation here. And I can tell you that right now in this situation as it presents right now, that there is foul play, and we have done our analysis and have shown that there is foul play that has stemmed from the opossum.
Do you have this evidence, and are you presenting it?
What's that? I'm sorry?
Are you presenting the evidence?
I am.
And what is that? Bardrick, is that his name? Oh God, I forgot. Burdock. Burdock said he was from.
That Burdock is from Sam Mason.
Okay, and that
also,
he said he worked for the opossum.
Indeed, and also happened to have and I slyly take out the corn muffin that had the poison.
Oh, I see. I see.
Because we're assuming also, and this, let me know if this is something that of a thought process I'm incorrect on, is that the wolfsbane is indigenous to this area.
Yes.
And so I'm going to present that as well.
Okay.
And say that it is impossible that we would have we would know or have had time to incorporate this into this mixture here and that only a person who knows of this flower's potency will be able to do something like that.
I just imagine Stroud like presents the muffin and rips it in half, and he's like, "Behold!"
And Thistle in the background going,
Yeah, tear up baked goods. It's
Crumbs
well
of
acted.
justice. Crumbs of justice.
It turns out they are attacking as well. And one of the mice sort of lifts itself from its matron's hide and steps forward and declares, "It is easy for him to say this. It's easy for him to present this evidence, just as it was easy for him. Just as it was easy for him to murder this supposed agent. How can we trust this evidence when there is no way to corroborate it with the deceased?"
Maybe next time send better mooks and minions. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not in this.
Whoa, you said you were not in this, Volley.
I took myself out. I'm back. I'm sorry.
So we're going to roll and do damage to each other because we are both attacking. Okay. So you get 2 helping dice, and you can use traits and any points you have.
okay. So I'm assuming then I will be running my scientist. So with the 2, that should be 5.
Okay.
And do you have any traits? Oh, shit! Blow those motherfuckers up!
I'm gonna blow them all up.
Oh, shit.
Come on, Boo Boo. Come on, Boo Boo.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Finn might not even get a word in. Okay, I
I just
forgot.
stayed here looking angry.
I forgot one rule. Guess what? We have to make a goal for the conflict. So you took 4 damage. So you're down to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're down to 5. So, like a session, we make a goal for the conflict so that we can sort of like, depending on how bad or good we do, we decide what parts of the goal are accomplished. I'm going to say that the goal for the opossum and her disciples are to... They want to veer responsibility of this matter to someone else that is not them.
And I think our goal is simple, right? It's to definitively pin this responsibility on them.
Yeah. All right. Last action. What are you doing, Thistle?
Okay. Thistle is going to try and outmaneuver these people. So Thistle stands and looks around and says, "This creature, while loved by the people of this island, surrounds themselves by naysayers and those that are distrustful and unkind, see them whispering suspicions into her ear, while our patron is so beautifully majestic, standing strong and proud out in the open. They may have poison growing on their lands, but you can see where it is. You can see who is wielding it. Where this other, who has just as much power and acclaim, must lurk in the shadows, hissing and spreading lies. Why, when they could be as majestic and wonderful as this, and embrace newcomers to the island, because this culture and this island is so great."
All right. You get a +1 from your daughter patron. She's very pleased with this.
Nice.
She does her wing. And you also get 2 helping dice, so that's 3. Do you want to use any traits? By the way, is this an attack?
This is a maneuver.
Oh, that's right. They are defending.
Right. Great. I'm using my deceiver skill and will be using my bold. I am jumping up and proudly declaring.
Yes.
So that's going to give me a total of 6 dice. Nice.
They're going to defend with 7 dice. Really? Okay. So they're at 3 right now. So your maneuver is going to be very special. Go ahead and 2 successes. Okay. So a maneuver actually has a few things that you can do.
Okay.
You could either spend 1 point to give the opponent -1 on their next action, or you could spend 2 points to add +2 to your next partner's action. And unfortunately, you don't have 3, which would be able to disable a certain trait or weapon that the opponent is using. Right now, I would say spend your 2 successes to give Finn the ammunition he needs for what he wants to do next.
That is what I was leaning toward as well.
The weasel says chastisingly, shit, you dressed them down. They say, as you can see, the only means of protecting their own reputation is to attack others. And they're standing. They refuse to take any more stock in the event that happened. As I understand, the creature that poisoned them wore the same tabard as they. And there we recover and we go to the last thing. Finn, what are you doing?
So I don't think that I can attack.
You can.
In a speech, it would require me to have orator, which I don't.
Oh, yeah, the weapons thing. Guess
right.
what? I kind of don't play that way.
Okay. Then in that case,
Luke.
no, it's fine. So then I will be using deceiver, because while what I'm saying is largely true, I am still hiding some important elements in this. And I will be using my tough to buff my intimidation here.
Okay.
And I will be attempting to attack then. So I will say, we are not the only ones who were affected. Someone else was poisoned. Someone who is tantamount to a national treasure. Someone who is working on something so special that they have clearance to do so from the highest authorities in the land. This person was poisoned with us. What possible motivation could our benefactor have in doing this? But there are so many possible motivations to be given to someone who hides in the shadows, who feels it necessary to strike at the authority of one so great as the Kestrel princess.
You get +1 and a +1 success for evidence.
Okay.
Which is what I should have given Neuro, but I didn't because I forgot.
And then I get how many for Connie?
You get 2. You get 2 because of the volley. This is a new volley, so it's limited to 2
from us.
people.
So you're gonna get 4, 5. Right? Is that right? 5 extra because you're gonna get 2 from the other 2 people participating in the volley.
Yeah.
Right.
2 from Connie.
Well, no, I get 4 dice and 1 success.
Oh, and 1 success. Yeah, so you get 4 extra. Yeah.
Okay. Plus so I'm rolling 6.
Sacks.
I'm rolling 8 because they are attacking.
Oh, we're both
hang on.
attacking?
Yeah.
That's
here's
good.
what
They both just
say.
go through and we win.
Yeah, they still do damage to you.
Yes.
If only they had fate points, I could maybe destroy you. But I don't. So here's what they have to say. Let me think, because this is their like
head.
Yeah, this is their last
I don't like you.
Their last indignant attempt to discredit you. And this will actually flip the table a little bit for what you thought you had over them. The creatures that are sort of huddled around the mother cling to her fur, a little frightened because now they're like, oh shit. And she opens her mouth, and following a long hiss of dissatisfaction, Sidwell says, the words of a god's mouse sit ill with Venn, especially when they are done in the guise of copperwood fools.
What?
They are not who they say they are.
You sound weird. You must be a liar.
This is good. So says our witness. And she turns, and you see stepping out of a corridor is Moira.
Which one's Moira? Wait, our friend? Or the one we napped in?
Yes.
That bitch.
You see there's another ferret behind her, and she gives you all a very grim expression as the court erupts in very harrowing speech, very harrowing talks, rather. Gosh. But the Queen and Crotic quickly bring a stall to that. The Queen, by sort of pulling a little pulley that rings a bell above her, and Crotic holds his hands up and sort of brings silence to the chamber as he says, the matter of who these mice are is not the course of this judgment. We, and he looks at the Queen, and she nods to him, find credible evidence that you have meddled in the sanctity of your fellow sister's rule. This pettiness, it divides us. It splits the Great Spirit from what it is, what we hope it to be. With the Queen's authority, the dahlia blooms on the course of excommunication. Guards, see that she is brought beyond the northern line. Oh, shit. He turns to the ferret, Moira, and says, you are free to go.
I throw a dagger in her back as she walks away. No. I just think about it real hard. I think about it real hard.
And
I napped on you, around whatever.
And he says, escort the guards mice to their chambers.
Yeah, fuck. Well,
and that's where we're gonna leave off.
Yeah. Okay, now I chuck a dagger.
Okay, so here's what I offer to you guys. Essentially, you will win the court ruling, and the great daughter of Sunflowers will be deposed, and she will be basically accused of trying to murder, her sisters like people. In return, you guys are exposed as what you are. Because you did end up with only 2, which means you do have to give me, the GM, sort of a greater a compromise, essentially. And this was something I had planned for a while.
It's fine.
It moves the story forward and adds drama. I like it.
Yeah. No, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
I never like losing.
There was
you won though.
Yeah.
Ludher said you did.
There was no point going into this where I imagined we would not be outed by the end of it.
Yeah.
But they do not find your daggers. I will also give you that.
Thank you. Okay.
Nice.
And that's all we have.
Can we say
what?
That, can we, as we did not lose as a compromise, can we say, because I think it works for the story, that Goss is not implicated in knowing who we actually were? Goss didn't know we were guards mice, because that keeps him off the hook.
Absolutely. That will be something in Moira's testimony to follow.
Okay.
That she can only identify the mice that were on the ship.
Okay. Bitch.
Who completed their goal, by the way?
I did. I got revenge.
I have not gotten physical evidence, or have I? Is the
contract the contract and the plan for the jar is pretty substantial.
Okay, then I did, and that's a persona, right?
Yeah, that's a persona point.
Yay,
Thistle. Sweetie,
feel like I was good at holding back and only lashing out once we had some answers.
Oh, you for sure crushed them and gave Finn the opportunity to tear them down.
Yeah. So I feel good about it.
And that's a persona point. Get a fate and get 2 fate if you accomplish or play it on your belief and instinct.
My belief didn't really come up this time.
Oh, what's your belief now?
I will help lost mice find their way.
The lost, yeah. Goss sort of was a lost, but I don't think you sort of just stood in the doorway and acted tough.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I asked him a bunch of questions.
Oh, that's a good point.
But I don't know. I'm not feeling that one. I think I'd just get 1.
Okay.
Thistle definitely distrusted everything throughout this whole thing, but they didn't do much themselves. They didn't feel like they had an opening to do much, so I'm not going to give them a point for their instinct.
In that case, we can move to MVP, Workhorse, and Embodiment. Who gets MVP?
I kind of want to give it to Stroud.
I feel like Stroud did it. They got a lot from that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Gauss conversation was, mega.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Y'all. You also did tons of damage with the duel.
Yeah, right?
As far as Workhorse, I'm kind of feeling Thistle, actually, on this one.
Yeah.
I can do it.
That laborer.
Right?
You found a way. You found a way.
Yeah, like Thistle was in on basically everything, helping the whole way through. Assisted with like even during the trial, like Thistle was just an enabler for like everything along the way.
Everything was stronger because of them.
Yeah.
I dig that. Thanks.
Perfect.
Cool.
Embodiment.
An embodiment is this one's always confusing for me. Which one is
Same.
this again?
This sort of can be awarded to like multiple people, it says. I sometimes award it to everyone because they did amazing. I think that's the case here. I think we should just give it to everybody.
Yay.
'Cause This was a big lead up. This was a big lead up moment for the game.
And that's Fate or Persona?
That is a Persona.
It's a Fate Sona.
Whoa.
I have a lot of Persona points.
I have 6.
I have 7 now. Like, what can I do?
We can
with that?
Aristia and Gray one of our traits.
Right? That's what I'm hoping.
Trying
That's a
to
burning wheel
remember.
That's a burning wheel thing with Fate and Persona
Yeah.
points. Don't worry about it.
We'll figure that out. But anything else that you guys want to dive into, or are we sufficiently?
I got to equal my current rating in a skill or the rating I'm trying to go for in the skill. Either way, I think I got it.
Okay, which skill is that?
Deceiver.
That's right. You might. Yeah. Do you have? It's a 2.
Yeah, my Deceiver is currently 2.
Yeah, that if it's a 2 equal in successes and 1 in failure, then yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So
There
if
you
I
go.
have 4 successes and 1 failure in Pathfinder, then I can go up to 5. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Excellent.
Very nice.
Okay. Sweet. So no, we just got to do everyone's outro-y things, and we're good. We're Gouda.
I would like to go last if that is okay, or second to last if we want 4 to go last. But I have a plug.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'm for. I run Mouseguard. I love Mouseguard. Follow me on Twitter on the Forefronts, and maybe I'll stream sometime. I never do, but that's because I'm working on various creative projects. One of them, a excellent RPG that I will hope to run called 4 Minutes, and yeah. That's all I'll say. I'm a horse groom that is a GM man.
Tweet.
I'm tired.
I'm a little sleepy too. Hey, I'm Throck. I'll go next because we'll do Zed last, and then we will not raid because we have a show out after this one. Hey, I'm Throck, also known as Sean. You can find me at Throck Plays on the tweeters. I'm all over the place. You'll see me tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern on Devil's Let Gaming, running Emerald Knights and Neurospikes, which is super fun. It's a Shadowrun game. We've got about 3 episodes left, I think, so you should come check it out as we wrap up this story arc, and then hopefully come back next season with a new one. We'll see. And then, except it'll be in a different system, which will be fun too. But it'll still be Cyberpunk, and it'll still kind of be Shadowrun, whatever. And then you'll find me next on Tuesday playing in Rifts, Blood, Dirt, and Chrome in the Palladium Rift system. It's a lot of fun. And that's also at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then other stuff later in the week, but I keep myself to doing 2 at a time. So you can find me those 2 places next. That way you can hop along with me as time goes by. Neuro.
Hi, I am Neuro Fourier. You guys can find me on Twitter, Insta, and on Twitch. I do stream once in a blue moon. I haven't streamed in a while, so bad on me. I do a variety game streaming. I like to always remind that this is my very first tabletop RPG, and it's been lots of fun. Hopefully, I'll be playing more. I am working on the forefront with hopefully integrating a alien tabletop RPG.
Oh my god, dude, I'm so ready.
Me too. So we'll be looking forward to that. Other than that, that's it for me.
Sweet.
Oh, cool. Hello, I'm Connie. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to be here again on Monday playing Unknown Armies as a trash witch. And if you go to the WTTP Discord, you can find a link sometimes to Adventures at Sea, a 5th edition pirate play-by-post. Trauma Drama Pirates, come share your dysfunction with us.
Nice. And last but certainly not least, Zedrington.
Thank you. Hello. I am Zed or ZX or Zedrin or Zedrington or
Zedrington Zedeltonius, yes.
Zedronius the Third. I am here in a lot of different places on the channel. Right now, obviously here, but then also on Mondays I run a D&D 5th ed campaign in Ravnica that happens to start at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, catch me and Thurok tomorrow playing some Shadowrun. It'll be sweet. However, I have a plug that's actually on behalf of Portia, my wife, and someone who has been a player on various things here in the past. And I'm putting this link in the chat, so hopefully it works out okay. But she's got a GoFundMe going right now. She and I are both teachers. She teaches engineering, and she's trying to get money together for our students, or her students rather, for a science fair. Students are they're researching and developing products that solve like some problem in the world. So some of them are working on things like lead paint reduction or water contamination. Someone's working on enhancing bike safety. There are people who are looking into veteran stress levels, and someone else who's trying to make gaming controllers for the visually impaired. There are about 85 students who are participating, who will each have their own project that will need various materials. And so she's trying to put together the funds to help them do that, because just like my students, her students don't have a lot of cash.
That would be really cool. Thanks.
That's Portia. So if there's anything you can toss to that, $3, $5, anything is helpful. That would be super cool. Yeah, I in fact posted it. So thank you very much.
All right, and with that, we are going to say goodbye, and thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and there's no that's a YouTube thing. Don't, if you like us,
smash that like button.
Smash the motherfucking like button.
Hit the bell icon.
This isn't YouTube.
Yeah, it's not YouTube. Yeah, that's true. So thank you for hanging out with us today, and we will see you for our... No, we don't actually have Scum and Villainy today. So our next show will actually be at 10:30 with Adventures in Acme, a D&D 5e campaign. And I'm just not going to raid because I don't feel like it. Normally I do, but we could go say, I'm going to go raid. I'm going to go say hi to Midgardia because they're amazing people. We're going to go raid, say hi. Sometimes I'm feeling like an evil deity. Today, I'm feeling like a good one. Midgardia. Okay, so we're going to be out as soon as the thing lets me go. Love you all so much.
Unmade Gaming is apparently doing a charity stream right now.
Oh, okay. I thought I followed them, but they're not showing up on my thing. It's too late. Okay, bye. We love you.
All right, all right.
Bye. I have made my choices be... Okay, we're out.